Hey there, and welcome back to Lesson 2 of Bassoon Boot Camp. In this lesson, we will learn about the different parts of our bassoon, as well as how to put the whole thing together. So let's get started. Okay, so place your bassoon case on a flat surface, for example, on the floor or on a table, and figure out which side the top is. Usually that's the side with the logo. And then go ahead and unlatch and open your case. Now, it's a great idea at this point to take a picture of what you see here. That's really going to help you get all the pieces back into the case correctly later. It can be a little bit tricky to figure out how all these things go. So definitely recommend taking a picture at this point. Now, your bassoon will have 4 main parts. This one right here is called the boot joint. And you'll notice it has metal on both ends, and it's the widest piece as well. That's the boot joint. Okay, the skinny guy right here that'll have either cork or cord on one end and metal on the other end, that is called your wing joint. This longest piece right here that's going to have cork or cord on both ends, that's called your long joint. And then finally, this piece right here is called the bell. Okay, so go ahead and take out your boot joint first. And when handling the parts of your bassoon, always be careful of the metal keywork and rods. We don't want to ever squeeze or put any pressure on those, because they will bend and then your bassoon will not work. So just always take care when handling it. So this is, of course, your boot joint. And you'll notice that in the top of the boot joint there are 2 holes, a bigger hole and a smaller hole. So pay attention to that, okay? Place that carefully on your lap, and then you're going to want to find your wing joint. Now remember, that's the skinniest piece here, okay? Now remember, on your wing joint, one side will have either cork or cord, and the other side will have metal. So locate the side with the cork or the cord, and then gripping it near that side and by the wood, not by any of the rods. Notice how I have my fingers on the wood and not on any of the rods here. Same with the thumb, okay? And then find the smaller hole in your boot joint, and then align those 2 and gently twist that on. Okay, you might want to use your lap or a table on the bottom of the boot joint to just give yourself a little bit of stability for that. Okay, next you want to locate your long joint. Okay, and this one has cork or cord on both ends here. All right, so find the side that has the smaller cork or cord. Okay, the smaller end, and then again, being careful not to bend any of the rods. You're going to want to line up that side with the bigger hole in your boot joint, and gently just twist that on. Okay, and you may have on your bassoon, so if I can show you here, you may have a little locking mechanism right here that's going to connect the long joint with the wing joint here. So let's see if I can show you that. Just kind of line those up, and once your wing joint and your long joint are both all the way down into the boot joint, and you can come up here, and I don't know if I'll be able to do this on camera. I might have to flip it around and then show you, but just bring this guy down so they lock together. Okay, yours may have that, it may not. Either way is fine. Okay? All right, now find your bell, which is this guy here, and that is going to attach to the cork on the top of your long joint. What I would recommend that you do is take this key right here and just press it down like that. See that with the finger, so that this flips up. Okay, so press that down gently, and then line it up with the top of your long joint and gently twist that around until you see that you want to line up these two keys right here. Okay, and that's why we press this down, because if we don't do that, then these keys might get bent. Okay, so line those up right there, and there you go. You are ready to rock and roll. Okay, now you also want to attach your bocal. Okay, now the bocal in the top of your wing joint right here, and I should point this out as well. This little key right here that sticks up, it's called the whisper key. We'll get to that later, but that is very easy to damage because you can see it sticks out above the end of that. So just be very careful right here. Okay. Take your bocal and place it into the top of the wing joint. It should go pretty much as far down as it'll go. And see if I can get a good view of this for you there. This little vent right here should line up with the whisper key right there. Okay? And as I mentioned in the previous lesson, the whole instrument, of course, is very expensive and fragile. The bocal is also, doesn't look like much, but it's also quite expensive, and it's very fragile, and you can see how it sticks out. So be careful when you're moving around that you don't bump this against something and bend it or anything like that. So just be very careful about that. Okay? And then, of course, you have your reed, which you will place onto the end of the bocal as before. Okay? All right, so now that we have our bassoon assembled, we need to talk about the seat strap. So on my chair here, you can see there is a strap. And this strap is a specially designed bassoon seat strap, and it has a cup on one end. Now, some of them just have a hook, which is fine, and you'll notice on the end of my bassoon I have a ring or a hook to connect that to, which is fine, but I really like the cup ones. So get yourself a bassoon seat strap, ideally with a cup, and that just lays across your chair. Thusly, the cup goes, or the hook goes to your right near the front of the chair. Okay? Then simply place the boot joint, the cap of the boot joint on the bottom of your instrument into the cup. Okay? Sit comfortably on your chair, and the instrument should go across your body like half of an X. Okay? Like so. Make sure that the reed comes just to the, let's call it the soul patch zone right below your bottom lip here. Okay, so you can see when I sit up nice and tall and bring the instrument up to me, right? It's going right where I want it. Now, if it's going too low or too high, that you can adjust by the placement or the length of your seat strap. So either loosen it or give yourself a little more slack to lower the instrument, or tighten it or bring it in to raise the instrument. Okay? And so that's it. You are ready to play. You have your bassoon assembled. You have your seat strap in place. You have everything ready to go. So I'll meet you back here for lesson 3, and we'll learn how to play our first note.